Leonard Williams has been absolutely dominant over the past few weeks. He's ending the season in a way that could easily earn him All-Pro recognition. The Seattle Seahawks, on the other hand, have a huge opportunity ahead. Next week, they head to Arizona, where they can make a big statement. But one thing is clear. They need a solid plan for Leonard Williams because this guy is playing like one of the best in the NFL right now. Looking at Seattle, their level of talent stands out. This team has what it takes to win games like these. Mike McD is a better coach than Johnson, and Seattle's roster is simply stronger than Arizona's. Now let's dive straight into what the Seahawks just pulled off, because honestly, we need to appreciate it. Seattle had a massive win that keeps them on top of their division, which is a big deal. They were up against tough odds in a game most people thought they'd lose early on. But this team showed grit. Not only did the offense step up and deliver, but the defense also turned things around. They managed to slow down a Jets offense that started the game strong. That's the kind of resilience that shows what this team is made of. Many teams would have crumbled under the pressure, but not the Seahawks. Their ability to fight through adversity and have both offense and defense rise to the challenge is impressive. It's also something no other NFL team wants to see from them as they push forward this season. Before we break it all down, if you're a Seahawks fan and love content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any updates this season. Now back to the game. The Seahawks pulled off an incredible comeback against the Jets. At one point, they were down 14-0 and later 21-7. But they didn't give up. They dug deep, played better football, and turned it around to win. This victory kept them at 7-5 and secured their spot as division leaders. If they'd lost, they'd be tied with the Cardinals and Rams, which would have seriously hurt their chances to win the division. So this win was huge. What stood out the most wasn't just their ability to fight through adversity, but also how they managed to beat a Jets team that, while struggling this season, is still loaded with talent. The Jets were desperate for a win to keep their playoff hopes alive, which made them even tougher to beat. And to top it off, Seattle did all this while playing away from home. When you're up against a desperate team like the Jets, the pressure's on. But one thing that stood out in this game was the Seahawks offense. After a slow start in the first quarter, they began to find their rhythm and move the ball down the field with ease. And it all started with Geno Smith. Geno didn't exactly come out firing at the beginning, but as the game went on, he settled in and played at a much higher level. That's the Geno Smith I'm used to seeing, a quarterback who's accurate, takes care of the ball, and can make plays. In this game, he did both those things exceptionally well, and that's why the offense had success. He got the ball to his playmakers quickly and even created some magic outside of the pocket, which is something people don't always give him credit for. When Geno plays like this, he's a top 10 quarterback, and it opens up the offense for all the talented weapons around him. Speaking of weapons, we can't ignore the big names like DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, who have been key contributors to the Seahawks' success for years. But this year, there's a new star shining, Jackson Smith-Jigba. He's had an incredible second half of the season and is showing exactly why he was drafted so highly. Right now, he's just outside the top 10 in receiving yards. Competing with some of the best receivers in the league, that's a clear sign of how good he is and how well he's getting open. JSN has really stepped up, and it's clear that he could either be the number 2 or even the number 1 receiver on this team with the way he's been playing. His route running is sharp, and he can be used anywhere on the field. If you leave him one-on-one, he'll find a way to get open. That's a big reason why he's been so successful. Teams can't afford to double him, DK and Lockett at the same time. So one of them is always left in a favorable matchup, and that's why JSN has been thriving. I don't see his production slowing down anytime soon. If he keeps this up, the Seahawks offense will keep getting better and better. That's bad news for any defense that has to face them. With so many talented players all over the field, including solid running backs like Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet, the Seahawks have a balanced attack that's hard to stop. One of the things that sets the Seahawks apart is their ability to keep defenses on their toes. To throw the ball successfully, you need to keep the defense honest, and the Seahawks do that extremely well. If they can continue to build on what they showed against the Jets, coming back from adversity and looking sharp in the second half, I truly believe this offense can get to the point where they're consistently scoring 4 or more touchdowns per game. What makes this team even more impressive is that they don't just have a great offense. Their defense is also top-notch. A huge part of that success comes from their head coach, Mike Macdonald, who was brought in this offseason. Macdonald, known as one of the best young defensive minds in the NFL, has made a big impact. While there have been some bumps along the way, we've seen a steady improvement in the defense throughout the season, and right now, they're a tough unit to face. One of the key reasons for their success is the pass rush. Mike Macdonald has been slowly adding more blitzes and stunts to disrupt opposing offensive lines, and the defensive line has responded brilliantly. With the talent they have, it was clear Macdonald would improve their ability to pressure the quarterback, and that's exactly what he's done. This defensive line has been thriving week after week, and one player who stands out is Leonard Williams. At 30 years old, Williams is playing like he's in his prime. In his most recent game, not only did he record 2 sacks, but he also dropped into coverage and picked off a pass for a pick six, a move you rarely see from a defensive tackle. His athleticism is still impressive, and as long as he stays this fit, he'll continue to put up big numbers. Williams has been a consistent force, both pressuring the quarterback and shutting down the run game. There's really not much more you could ask from him. Alongside him, other players like rookie boy Mayfay, Byron Murphy, and Draymond Jones have all been making an impact. This gives the Seahawks plenty of options for attacking the quarterback from different angles, and it's clear that Macdonald has done a great job in utilizing all their talents. Just like the offense, the defense is balanced and well-rounded. When you look at the team as a whole, you can see that both the defensive line and the secondary work well together. From the front seven to the backfield, this is a defense that can compete with the best. Let me know if you'd like to refine anything further. This defense has only gotten stronger as the season has progressed. The rookies, like Horace Knight, have shown some great flashes, and I'm really impressed with the trade for Ernest Jones. He's made a big impact in the linebacker room and has helped elevate the defense as a whole. Together, Knight and Jones make a solid duo, and when you add in cornerbacks like Tyreek Woolen and Devin Witherspoon, both of whom have been outstanding this year despite their youth, you have a defense with a lot of potential. On top of that, we've seen Kobe Bryant step up, and Julian Love has been playing out of his mind. His extension is looking better and better with each game, showing just how valuable he is to this team. All of this talent is finally coming together, and it's clear that Mike Macdonald has done a fantastic job of meshing these players and getting them to play great football. As the season has gone on, this defense has only gotten better, and I truly believe they'll be one of the top defenses in the league by the end of the year. When you combine that with an offense that's also improving, especially with Jackson Smith-Jigba emerging alongside the other veteran stars, this team really looks like it's hitting its peak at just the right time. And that's exactly what you want as you head into the final stretch of the season. If the Seahawks can keep playing at this level, I think they'll end up winning the division. But as we know, the NFL is a week-to-week league, so anything can happen. I'm excited to see what they can accomplish and how they finish the season.